X-Day. It's X-Day. It's crazy. Everybody's crazy because it's X-Day. And everybody loves Bob. And Bob loves everybody. And I love everybody because everything's crazy at X-Day. It's crazy, I'm telling you, because it's slack. It's slack. Some people got some slack. I know they did. Some people got lucky. They got some damn slack. They got more of them kind of pills, bud. It's great. It's X-Day. It's crazy. Oh, yeah. It's crazy. It just about makes me out of breath talking about how crazy it is. Oh, I love X-Day. It's just so fun. You can just go crazy at X-Day. Or as we might call it, you can go sane at X-Day. That's right, you can go ape shit sane at X-Day. You can go ape shit sane, as Dr. Legame put it. Say, speaking of Dr. Legame, we should call him up and put him on FaceTime. We get Dr. Legame up on FaceTime. He can rant to us. It's a beautiful thing. It's X-Day. It's a beautiful thing. One man's bummer is another man's beautiful thing. Praise Bob. Drums, Reverend Angry Larry on guitar.
There's a man who stands 10,000 feet tall in suits made of the finest materials from beyond the stars. He has a wooden pipe emitting from a grin of the sharpest teeth you've ever seen. And inside of it burns the souls of the damned. He lumbers at you, seeking out for the little bits of pocket lint and change that you have. And when he comes around the corner to greet you, you better hope that you're on his side. 'Cause, buddy, you'll be going down. Bob! He's such a badass! I really wish he could show me how to be strong and macho like him. I wish he could teach me how to finish my vegetables and how to do my laundry without getting those little spots underneath the collar. I wish that my socks wouldn't stand up straight after just one day of wearing them. You know, I gotta get these stains off of my bed sheets. Maybe Bob can teach me how to do that too. Maybe Bob can help me quit smoking, or start smoking, or finish drinking, or begin drinking. Maybe Bob can open up new doorways to dimensions that we can't even perceive. An eternal void of slack that we are living on now on a mudball planet called Earth, and a conspiracy year far off of a calendar that can even be believed by anybody on this planet for more than one moment, astounds me that anyone is willing to believe that what is happening right now is not true. These are the facts. These are your missions that you must adhere to. The book of the SubGenius is your guide. Staple it to your hip and never leave home without it. Pamphlets, they're still only $1. You can trade it with your friends that you watch bug porn with. You can trade it with your friends that you steal frop from. You can trade it with people who don't have anything else to give. Bob. He's got divine powers or some shit. I don't know. I never met the guy. I just keep getting told about how much better it's going to be. Don't worry, Reverend Fox. Bob won't let you down again. You won't have to keep driving across the country to meet a bunch of weirdos on a parking lot full of naked freaks for a week. You won't have to endure any of those beautiful drugs. You won't have to be harassed by any of those wonderful Uber femmes. You won't have to put up with it anymore. No, we'll take all of it away for you, Reverend Fox. We'll take it away from you if you come do what we want you to do. You know, it wasn't very long ago that I had a job. We know what those are. That time of the day that you have to spend in between doing what you want to be doing and doing what you want to be doing. Jobs are just a way that the conspiracy is trying to fool you. That you have to put in some sort of effort before you're allowed to take anything back. But they keep taking and taking. And they say to me, Reverend Fox, we think that you're a pretty nice guy, but you know, you could just do a little bit better. I wish that we could clone you so we could have more workers like you. So what we'd like to do is give you an opportunity. We're gonna have you do more work for the same amount of money. And I said, gee, I don't know. That doesn't sound like such a great opportunity. And I swear to Bob Dobbs himself that day, the people of this corporation handed me information that I could use to obtain psychological counseling. Take these pills, Reverend Fox. They'll make it all so much easier. You can come to work every day and everything will be fine. You won't worry about waiting until Fridays to wear your Bob t-shirts. You won't have to worry about not getting that last donut from the tray. You won't have to worry about giving up everything that you have for us. And that's when I told them, that's when I told them the two most sacred words any SubGenius lips can utter. And I left. And I'm still gone. And now I'm at X-Day. With you! You lucky, lucky SubGeniuses, you! No one's gonna have a job Tuesday morning. No one. Praise Bob. Praise Bob. Praise Bob. Praise Bob. If you're within earshot of my voice, this is your cue to raise one hand into the air. Go on. There's a few. There's not enough hands in the air. Your hand is not in the air. Put your hand in the air. Put your hand in the air. And put your hand in the air. Now on your hand you will notice that you have some extremities. I have 5. You may have a different number than me. But let's see what happens when I take this one away. That's how many nights I will have spent at X-Day. If I take one more away, I have the amount of times I took a trip into town for supplies for X-Day. If I take one more away, the number of times I smoked out of a frog pipe covered with habanero pepper juice. This number is also the amount of times I've seriously injured myself while at X-Day. With this gaping leg vagina and the burn on my hand. Not to mention the stress and pain for the last 2 days of sleeping on the cold, hard ground. Kinda gets to you. But if I take one more away, this is how many. This is exactly how many. Right here is the amount of days until the end of the world. I can count to this many, and that's as high as I need to go. I'm not just your average squeaky-voiced, shit-faced motherfucker from a buckle underneath the Bible Belt. No, it's not easy living on America's wang. It's not easy being on the sunspot, on the dick of the country that the entire world knows is constantly waving around. It's not easy dealing with 110-degree heat with 5,000% humidity. It's not worth the pain and isolation of suffering at the hands of the conspiracy. But that's okay. because it's just this many days until the end of the world. Registration is still open if you have not yet paid. And if you have paid, pay again. It's worth it. I really mean it. You get a genuine feeling in the bottom of your heart every time you open up your wallet for Bob. Give until it hurts. Give until it really hurts. Give until you have only one thing left to give. And then give that too. No post-dated checks after July 5th. Cash or money order. And hey, we're taking credit cards! Lord of Anger, Rants, has misplaced a mystical elixir which imbibes him with the power to remove the souls from people who have not yet paid $35. Dr. Hal has a notebook which contains the names of people that will not survive X-Day. Ferg has a bag of froth that's gonna make it past X-Day. Spike, well, he ran out of the whippets, but you could have had him anyway! And Baby Bear, you and that fellow there with your beautiful complexion, and I'm jealous of your hair, and your gauges are bigger than mine, and that makes me feel inadequate. At least I know that I'm not the one that has to go home with the girl that I made cry when I raped Bob. Sorry about that. About saying rape, not about raping Bob, but by saying rape, because that is 10 times actually worse. It's actually worse.
This is the kind of thing I collect. It is a set list. It's Andrew the Impale's set list. It's been bled on, came upon. There's snot, boogers, everything gross on it, and footprints, of course. And it's on the back of the Jenkum huffing chamber and fermentation station. Do not flush flyer. And someone cut the Dobbs head out of it. These are the kinds of things I collect. We'll be able to clone Andrew the Impaled from the body fluid stuck on this old piece of paper from the SubGenius stage. That's why I collect these. In case I want to torture a SubGenius later, I can resurrect his clone on the saucers and get my rocks off. Not that I can think of anybody specific, but it's a good option to have. Praise Bob. Well, I guess since I'm standing here, I might as well rant. It's hard for me to rant about how fucked up everything is because, sort of like Dr. Legume, I actually got slack. Now, and that shouldn't seem ironic or weird or anything. Of course I got slack. I followed Bob's word. I slacked off in his name. My idea of slacking off is working at things I like to do. It doesn't really matter if it's for Bob or one of my hobbies, like my game Monster Hunter, or my hobby of looking at my zoo of microorganisms, or my hobby of taking care of the yard and the house. It's doing things that I wanted to do, that's what I call slack. Now I understand, or actually I don't understand, that for many people, slack really is doing nothing or just watching. And sometimes that's true for me too. So I guess it takes all kinds. My point is, I suppose it must be possible to have a rant that's not exactly completely pissed off about how ruined and terrible your life is. Unlucky, I don't have any disabilities. I make just enough money to pay the mortgage. And what else do you need? I mean, come on, this is the modern world. We have aspirin. We have air conditioning. We're richer than the richest motherfuckers that ever lived. And yet we sit on our asses and whine about it. Oh yeah, I guess I am pissed off about something. I am. I'm pissed off about people who do not count their blessings because they're too fucking lazy to even bother to count. They can't see what's right in front of their faces, which is the path around the next corner. Slack lies around the next corner. I promise you it's true. If you can just keep going around that next corner, you will eventually get to the slack. And I know that's true because I went to the trouble of getting off my ass and going around the next corner. It was a few more steps than I might normally have taken, and yet, by golly, it led to at least the last part of my life, hopefully the last 3/4, or hopefully the infinite amount, hoping X-Day happens anyway. But goddamn it, friends, the world is not completely shitty. There actually are some really cool things, like comic books, monster movies, girls, boys, yeah, money too. But really, a SubGenius can get slack from looking at a handful of dirt if you know how to really look. You'll see the slack in that handful of dirt. Take my word for it, it can be done. And even if you are a slave to some job, there's still lots of handfuls of dirt around. Praise Bob, and thank you for coming to this X-Day.
Doesn't come back to life, ever. Still, you may pretend. Lots of us do this when something hurts us. So, you may think to yourself, well, I'll just make believe the person really didn't die. He just went away on a long trip, and he'll come back someday, you'll see. But now, think about it. That's not real. Any more than most of the stories on TV. Wishing doesn't make things come true. Well, let's talk about the real world. The world of life and death. What is dead?
Bob?
Do you remember when you saw a squirrel lying in the road? The body does not move or breathe. It is silent. It is peaceful. There is no hurt, no pain, no life. Where there is joy in life, there is also pain. There's happiness, but there are also tears. You might be mad at so many people. You may become grumpy. Sometimes for, just little things. Well, it's all right to let go of some of your feelings. You may feel better if you do. Sometimes, after a person dies, you worry, maybe I made him die. You remember the times when you were naughty or nasty to the person who died. Now, those things don't make people die. All of us act badly at times. So remember, thoughts can't make people die. But even so, you may feel very sad that the person is dead. You may want to know what happens when a person dies. Well, it's like when your goldfish died. Maybe you put its body into a pretty box.
Not that you overfed it, neglected it, forgot about it, let it swimming around its own piss for hours.
With your friends, you dug a hole to place the box in. You buried your goldfish.
Maybe we shouldn't
that the person is
take
still
this
living.
too much seriously.
Friends often send
because,
flowers and come to the funeral home.
don't drink the
They do these
Gatorade. I
things
know
to show
they're
that they
offering
care for
it
the
here
person who
at the
died.
Wisteria campgrounds, but I'm
Also,
afraid that
do these
this
things
is the
to show that the
Gatorade,
person
the last Gatorade you'll ever taste. It's much like the Kool-Aid of
Services held in
Jonestown,
the funeral home.
but
tons
less
of it. It was
flavorful.
good.
I understand that it might work for you, but it doesn't work for everyone. Do not drink the Kool-Aid
We talk
or
about
the
how the person
Gatorade.
who
It only
died
killed me
meant so much
once.
to all who were there.
That's really all it takes.
After the service,
Just the
No.
once.
people go
Just
to
the
the
once.
cemetery.
Easy.
But look at that
People follow
hearse.
the hearse
I would love to ride in that.
and the family of the person
mean-
who
You
died
will
in
one
a
day.
procession.
As the
Oh,
driver.
yes, you will
But
ride
a
the
very
hearse.
sad
No, we had the
animal.
54 Chevy with the fins it was a Magic Midnight Blue painted. It was a magnificent
No,
hearse.
animal, you too will ride the hearse.
We'd roll up to parties in that, and my friend Gary, the big satanic chauffeur, would hop out. He was like about 7 foot tall. I shit you not, man. 1 foot's longer than the other, so he had the boots made separate. As bikers often do, the biker boots. It was amazing. He'd get out in his leather chauffeur cap and his vest, and he'd just slide out the back where normally the caskets were, but it was just us enjoying frop.
This is the way families most often
And we just go out and just join the party, and people are like, what the hell kind of beast have you rolled in on? We're like,
called a mausoleum
what?
instead of where she first died.
I'm just saying, if you're not here on the Pleasant Saucers, it's really your own fault. If you don't make it X Day.
Loving to the person who died.
That memory brought me happiness. I have happiness. I have a memory.
You have happiness now?
You must have had
memory
the
of-
hit
You have
by
a
a brick
memory?
memory.
Yeah, I
Hit
have-
by a brick memory. That
You have a
always
memory
brings me
and that
joy.
brought you happiness, the
I have
memory?
one memory, and it brought me happiness.
Aw, that's so touching.
Was it?
But now I can't remember what it was. Look at I'm fucked.
But
Oh,
you,
back to normal again. It's so great.
you know
So
it
you
was
distracted me. I had the perfect
know that-
thought, and you distracted me.
Once again,
Where's that absinthe? That's what I need.
Yeah.
arranging cremation services, consumer information, audiovisual
It's 8-track
program,
tape and 16
planning
millimeter film.
ahead, talking about death with children by Dr. Earl Grolman. I honestly don't think he's a real doctor. The fact
Yes.
is, this was not brought to you by me, Animal Overlord from Austin, Texas. This was brought to you by Matt the homeless mortician. Their best morticians are homeless. It makes you give that extra edge of nervousness when you're around them. You know, when you're around a normal mortician, you're like, yeah, they're around dead people all the time. But when you're around a homeless mortician, you're like, ooh, but he's got time in his hands.
He's got that skill feel.
Yeah, he's got that real
he's a
deep
skill.
skill feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, the deep skill feel. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, you don't want the free range morticians.
No,
you know, when they got like nothing to do.
Well, actually, we have a friend who's a free-range mortician, and he does quite well.
On people or critters?
no,
'Cause
on
I've seen a
people.
few sleepy
Hey.
deer on the way here to Wisteria. They're all taking naps on the side of the highway like they do.
He was a
Yeah.
mortician in New York City after 9/11.
Oh,
He put 1,000 people into little shoe boxes.
that is free range as it gets.
Yeah.
That's hardcore practice right there.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he came to X-Day after that and handed out those little butt plugs they put in corpses to keep you from farting at an open casket thing.
That is so nice.
Yeah, everybody had little necklaces made of butt plugs.
That's like
Little
one of the
plastic-
sweetest things I've ever heard.
Yeah.
That is the most
plastic-
adorable.
Thanks, Reverend
thoughtful-
Seafood.
Oh,
Reverend Seafood of New York.
Yeah,
did-
Reverend
come back to us.
And everybody at that X Day was walking around with one
little
of
plastic
those
butt plugs,
clear
and they fit
plastic
one
butt
size
plugs.
fits
Why would
all.
you have it
Around
on your
their
neck
necks.
at that point? It's obviously got a chain for safety. You put it where it goes. You put it where it goes, and
Well,
you walk through it. Honestly,
It had a little step-by-step pyramidal series of discs so that, you know, it would fit any asshole. The big ones
I
were like
bet
this.
there are enough assholes
little
here
ones-
for it to fit
the
of
little
all
ones were-
sizes and shapes. They're right out there waiting and listening to us now.
They're up here on the
I'm
stage.
pretty sure there's a few right
Look,
there waiting. Where's their perennial plugs when you need it? I mean, I've got my
Yeah,
penial.
radial plugs.
Where's my penial plug when I've got I can stick something in my third nostril. I might as well have a perennial and a penial plug while we're at it.
I've got a toolkit in the car.
I don't believe you, and it's okay
pineal
if you
plug-
don't prove me
plug?
right.
Pineal plug. I didn't know there was such a thing as a pineal plug.
You know, there is now.
Is that play
And ain't this modern day stuff amazing? Susie the Flizzy, they can just stick a little box in that box and it makes music.
Place the portable player.
You don't even need a record player or a 16mm projector or nothing.
They don't need us no more, Reverend
No, they
Stang.
sure as hell don't, obviously. They made that part clear tonight.
Plant
We've been
obsolescence.
eclipsed. We've been eclipsed. It's the end of the old school world.
Time for the ice flow.
Yep, that's right. The old time SubGenius bullshit's been supplanted by the new wave of.
Hung up to dry.
Step aside, Reverend, whatever your name is, and
Reverend Funny Name.
Reverend, what's her face?
No more
It's a new
milk
era.
for daddy no more.
Yeah, we're gonna have to move aside, make way for the new.
Hey, I cast my vote already.
I need a hugger at the end to tell me to stop.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, girlfriend.
What's my hugger?
Hip hop.